guys? My name is Deshaun. Welcome back to my channel if you are a subscriber. Now, if you are a subscriber from this channel or one of my old channels, you know that one of my things that I have problems with is making videos too long. So I have decided to come up with this 10-minute plan, right? So I have a 10-minute stopwatch that I'll set for every video because I want every one of my videos to be around 10 minutes. And just to make it real clear for you guys to know what exactly this channel is made for or why I created it, I want to share everything that I've learned through experiences. We talking about success, failures, learn from school, like going to like real school, learning from just my regular life, different things that I've learned. I want to share that with you guys. So I feel like this is my way. I don't want to be no teacher, but I feel like this is my way to, teach people the things that I know in an effective way. So like I said, I have a 10-minute watch or a 10-minute timer right here in my hand, and it's about to start now. So let me teach you something in 10 minutes. Now I want to talk about something I would like to call it a philosophy, but it's really the origin of it is a quote, and the quote is, be willing to listen to something, or be willing to listen to 9 things that you know so you can learn one thing you didn't know. So that quote is like really powerful to me now. At first it was like, all right, I really didn't understand it, but now I'm about to explain it to you. So first thing first, when you're trying to learn new information, you should probably try to find a mentor, probably try to find somebody that's successful in the avenue of like where you're trying to do business or whatever you're trying to do. Like if you want to be a chef, you should try to find a person that's a successful chef. If you want to have your own business, find somebody who had their own business and was successful, right? So we give first thing, find a mentor, find the right person to listen to. You don't want to be listening to somebody who never made a business and they're giving you business advice. You know what I mean? So make sure that you find somebody that you can trust, and then that the stuff is that they saying to you, you can take serious because they know what they're talking about. That's the first thing first. Now the second thing is, when you find these people, you have to listen. And I know it sounds so simple, like people are like, okay, of course I'm gonna listen to these people, they're gonna be successful, blah blah blah. But that's not what usually happens. And I'm gonna tell you what usually happens. So usually when you talk to these people, they don't know where your knowledge is. They can't look at you and be like, all right, he know this amount of stuff about finances. We'll go use that because that's something I'm going to talk about on my channel. So he won't look at me and be like, all right, he knows this much about finances, so I'm going to start from right here. He's going to start from the beginning, right? So he's going to talk about gross income, net income. He's going to talk about expenses. He's going to talk about net worth. He's going to talk about the different advantages you can have of having a business. He's going to talk about the different types of business, sole proprietor, LLC, corporations. He's going to talk about all of those things that are really basic. Those are basic when you care about the topic, or when you care about this industry. Those things will become basic because, of course, you're going to do a lot of research, and then also you're going to be talking to a lot of people, right? So you have to be willing to listen to that, right? Every single time you talk to somebody, because I don't suggest you just talk to one person. You might talk to like 15 people about this. So they all going to start from that beginning. And they might talk to you about the gross income, whatever. And you got to be willing to listen to that, because they might tell you something later in the conversation that you didn't know. So when you get to velocity banking, and when you get to the different tax write-offs for different businesses, all of that type of stuff you're going to learn later on if you continue to listen. Because if you decide to cut them off, or you decide to tell them like, yeah, I know that. So he like talking about gross income. He like, yeah, I know what that is. And then he started talking about a business. He's like, yeah, I know what the LLC is. By the time you do that about 5 times, let me check my time. All right, I got 7 minutes. By the time you do that about 5 times, you're going to discourage them. Like, I understand they're powerful people, whatever, but nobody wants to just be talking to somebody that knows everything, right? They're going to be like, why the hell am I talking to this dude? Like, I don't need to tell him about this stuff because he already knows everything. So you're going to limit yourself from the new information that you possibly can get. And another thing, right, when they trying to tell you about these basic things, you might be aware of them, but you might not know the ins and outs, right? So you might know what an LLC is, but you might not know all of the tax breaks and all of the advantages of having an LLC. You might not know the big difference between having an LLC and a corporation, and knowing like if you have a bigger corporation, you might get taxed twice, and if you got an LLC, you might only get taxed once. Like these little small things you probably didn't know about. but you knew about the topic. So you got to be willing to listen and not cut these people off, because you're going to gain more information. And it kind of goes along with another quote. I actually don't agree with this quote, but a quote is, it says, "Act as you know nothing, so they tell you everything." And I understand the philosophy. I understand like the motive behind the quote. It's kind of like what I'm saying is like, just listen. But I feel like at the same time, when you're talking to somebody that is successful, if you don't know anything, it might be also discouraging for them to talk to you as well, right? So if I'm talking about business and then you asking questions that you already know because you're trying to act like you don't know nothing. So when he talk about a gross income, you're like, what's that? And then he talk about LLC, you like, what's that? Then this person gonna be like, well, you probably ain't even ready to even talk to me yet, because like you don't even know nothing, and I don't have all that time to walk you through all of these things. Because even though you might be willing to listen to those 9 things to learn one thing, usually those 9 things, they're gonna be brushed over, right? That beginning part is gonna be brushed over. When they get to velocity banking, they're gonna tell you step by step. They're gonna be like, all right, you probably don't know this, so let me go in great detail about this. I'm still checking my time, making sure I'm good. I got like 4 minutes and 40 seconds. But I just want to tell you guys this, because this is something that sometimes I struggle with. You know, like I talk to different people that I consider mentors, and also I watch a lot of videos and learn information. Recently, I learned about velocity banking. Like they were talking about credit, and they were talking about, you know, when the video started, they were saying, you know, the first thing first, when you talk about credit, you need to get your expenses right and make sure you don't owe people, you know, stuff like that. And then they started talking about business credit and all that other stuff. But if I were to cut that video off when they were talking about such like the basic stuff, I would have never got to the point where I learned the new information, where like it was like a brain explosion. I'm like, oh, I never even thought about that. Like that's a great point. So you have to be willing to listen to things that you do know, so you can learn things that you don't know. Also, don't be a know-it-all, because people don't like to talk to know-it-alls. But also, don't take it too far where you don't actually know anything, or you act like you don't know anything, because that can discourage a person from talking to you as well. So I hope you guys got something out of this video. It's a very powerful quote. I'll repeat it one more time. Be willing to listen to 9 things that you do know, so you can hear one thing that you don't know, or learn one thing that you don't know. Because I feel like that is really valuable now and today. We are in the time of information, where everybody's looking up information, and a lot of people are not patient, right? And we need to be more patient and be willing to listen to people, because we don't know everything, even though sometimes we might feel like we know a lot more than we actually do. My name is Deshaun. If you want to see more videos, you know what to do, and you'll see me soon.